Welcome to English Evidently Podcast, the place where you improve your English every single day simply by listening.
Greetings, friends. My name is Sam, and I am a farmer. My life is not measured in hours on the clock, but in the rising and setting of the sun, the turning of the seasons, and the quiet growth of the land I am entrusted with. Walk with me through a single day, from first light to last, from my fields to my barn, and see the world from my boots. The day does not begin with a shrill alarm, but with a subtle, internal signal, a deep, almost cellular awareness that the world is about to turn. In the cool, profound quiet of the pre-dawn, I am already pulling on my worn, comfortable boots by the back door. The house is silent, but stepping outside, I am met by a world that is hushed, not asleep. The air is fresh and carries the rich mineral scent of dew-damp soil, a smell like promise itself. High above, the last stubborn stars are fading, and the eastern sky is softening from black to a deep, velvety blue-gray. My first ritual is a walk, not a hurried one, but a slow, purposeful pilgrimage to the highest ridge on my land. The grass, heavy with silver droplets, soaks the cuffs of my trousers, a cool kiss from the earth. From this vantage point, I can see the shadowed outlines of my world, the dark blocks of the sleeping barn, the neat, silent rows of the vegetable garden, and the vast, rolling quilt of my fields stretching out into the gloom. I stand there, a simple mug of hot tea warming my hands, and I wait. I wait for the first razor-thin line of gold to fracture the horizon. It comes, as it always does, and then spills like liquid light over the distant hills. It ignites the tops of the corn stalks first, turning their tassels into flickering flames, then slowly pours down their lengths, revealing the world piece by piece. This is my morning counsel. In this silent golden light, I survey my kingdom of responsibility. My eyes scan for the telltale signs of the night's visitors, the trampled grass where deer might have browsed, the unusual pattern in the young wheat that could signal wind damage or worse. I breathe in the cool air and exhale the day's plan. This quiet communion, this patient watching as the land is reborn in light, is more than a routine. It is my grounding, my silent prayer of gratitude and intention. It is the moment I remember why I do this, before the how of the work ever begins. With the sun now a steadfast companion, its light solid and warm on my shoulders, the day's tangible work commences. I leave the high ridge, and my footsteps make a soft, damp sound on the path leading to the heart of the farm, the barn. Pushing the heavy wooden door open, I am enveloped by a world of soft shadows and living warmth. The air here is thick with the sweet, earthy scent of hay, clean straw, and the gentle musk of my animals. My two dairy cows, Bess and Clara, shift in their stalls, turning their large, gentle heads toward me. A low, rumbling greeting echoes in the space. "Good morning, ladies," I murmur, my voice calm and familiar in the stillness. The first music of the day is not from a radio, but from the steady, rhythmic ping, ping, ping of rich, warm milk hitting the bottom of the stainless steel pail. It is a sound of abundance in routine, a percussion of sustenance. After the milking is done and the pail covered, I move through the barn with a practiced eye. I fork fresh hay into the mangers, its dusty fragrance rising into the air. I check each automatic waterer, ensuring the flow is clean and strong, listening for the satisfying hum that means all is well. The chickens cluck softly in their coop as I scatter their grain, a shower of gold in the morning light. From the living warmth of the barn, I move to the practical order of the machinery shed. Here, the smell changes to one of diesel, grease, and dry, sun-baked dust. My old tractor, a trusted partner painted in fading red, sits waiting. My pre-work check is a silent conversation of care. I pull the dipstick, its oil level a dark, clear line telling a story of good health. I thump the thick, rugged tires, listening and feeling for the firm pressure of readiness. I clean a speck of dust from a fuel line connection. This machine will be my strength today, and I treat it with the same respect I give the animals. Satisfied, I climb into the worn leather seat, turn the key, and the engine roars to life with a throaty, reliable rumble. Guiding it out into the bright morning, I point its nose toward the south pasture. The deep, dark soil turns over in perfect, fragrant rows behind me, a clean page being prepared for the next chapter of growth. By late morning, the sun has ascended to its throne, pouring down a generous, earnest heat that warms the very bones of the earth. The broad work of the tractor is done for now, and I trade its wide seat and engine's roar for the intimate, quiet scale of the vegetable garden. Here, the work is measured in inches and performed on my knees. The rich, dark soil radiates a life-giving warmth through the fabric of my trousers as I settle into a row of tomato plants. This is a world of close observation. My hands, roughened and familiar, move with a gentle precision. I lift the broad leaves of a beefsteak tomato, turning them over to inspect their pale undersides for any telltale spots of blight or the hidden clutches of insect eggs. I run a thumb over the skin of a young zucchini, feeling its promising heft and the delicate prickles of its stem. Sweat beads on my forehead and traces a clean, salty line down the center of my back. Not an annoyance, but a testament, an honest expenditure. High above, the world is a vast, cloudless dome of blue. A red-tailed hawk rides the thermal currents in silent, spiraling circles, a watchful sovereign of the air. Down here, amidst the humming of diligent bees and the soft rustle of leaves in a faint breeze, I am not separate from this landscape. I am a participant, a tender and a guardian within a living, breathing system. There is no need for spoken words. The only dialogue is between my caring hands and the responsive life of the plants, a silent communication under the patient, watchful eye of the sun. In this focused stillness, the boundary between myself and the land softly dissolves.
A farm, I have learned, is a living puzzle where a new piece is always askew. The satisfaction of the morning's rhythm is gently interrupted during my post-lunch walk, a simple sandwich eaten in the dappled shade of the old oak tree, now a memory. In the upper field, where the young bean plants should be drinking deeply, I see it, a glint of sunlight on spray, a small, persistent fountain arcing from the main irrigation line, wasting precious water into a growing, muddy circle. A sigh escapes me, not of frustration, but of acknowledgement. This was not in the day's plan, but the farm has now written a new task. There is no one else to delegate to. The responsibility is mine alone. I turn back towards the shed, my mind already cataloging the needed tools, the sharp knife, a fresh coupling, the heavy roll of waterproof tape. My dog, Scout, who had been dozing at my feet, falls into step beside me, his loyal presence a quiet comfort. The repair itself is a ritual of restoration. Kneeling in the damp earth by the leak, I first trace the black line with my hand, feeling for the split's edges. The water is cool on my skin. I shut off the valve upstream, and the cheerful, wasteful fountain dies to a drip. The work is methodical, almost meditative. Cut the damaged section cleanly, slide the coupling onto one end, fit the pieces together, ensuring a perfect marriage. Wrap the tape round and round, a practiced overlapping spiral that speaks of muscle memory. Scout lies nearby, chin on his paws, watching with patient brown eyes. As I turn the valve back on, there is a gurgle, a shudder through the line, and then the quiet, efficient hiss of water flowing where it is meant to be, deep into the thirsty soil. The problem is solved. The balance is restored. This small act of mending, of diagnosing a fault and fixing it with my own hands, brings a profound and quiet satisfaction different from planting or harvesting. It is the deep, silent pride of the steward, the keeper of the flow, the maintainer of the whole. As the fierce, direct gaze of the afternoon sun begins to soften into a gentle, golden embrace, it is time for my evening rounds. The light, now slanting and long, paints everything in rich, warm tones and stretches the shadows of the fence posts into slender giants across the grass. My first stop is the row of wooden hives at the field's edge. I don't need to open them. I simply stand nearby, still and respectful. The air vibrates with a low, contented hum, the sound of thousands of wings, of industry coming home. It is a sound of prosperity, of a thriving community playing its vital part in the cycle of my farm. From the bees, I move to the hen house. The ladies pluck and bustle as I unlatch the door. Inside, the air is warm and carries the clean scent of straw. My hand reaches into the dim, cozy nesting boxes, and my fingers close around treasures still warm from the hens' bodies. One by one, I place the smooth brown eggs into my woven basket. They are each a small, perfect marvel, a daily, quiet miracle of provision. But the most personal harvest is for our own table. With the basket on my arm, I walk back through the kitchen garden in the honeyed evening light. My choices are slow and appreciative. I select a head of lettuce, its leaves crisp and cool, beaded with moisture from the irrigation. I kneel again to cup a handful of ripe strawberries, their scent bursting into the air as my fingers brush them, leaving a faint red blush on my skin. Finally, I pinch a few fragrant sprigs of rosemary from the woody bush by the fence, releasing their sharp, pine-like perfume. Carrying this bounty back toward the house, the colors seem to glow from within. The deep green, the vibrant red, the dusky gray-green of the herbs. This is not a commercial harvest. It is a direct, immediate, and beautiful reward. The basket on my arm is the literal fruit of the season's patience and the day's care, a simple, nourishing bouquet that connects my labor in the field directly to the peace of my family's table. The sun, having spent its strength, begins its final magnificent descent, melting into a pool of molten gold and crimson at the edge of the world. The sky transforms into a vast canvas of violet and apricot, a silent spectacle that demands a pause. My last duty calls me back to the barn in the gathering twilight. Inside, the animals are calm and settled. I check every latch, my hand familiar with each rusted bolt and smooth wooden bar. I listen to the deep, rhythmic chewing of the cows and the soft rustle of chickens on their perches. Topping up the final water trough, I watch the clean water swirl in, a last act of provision before the night. Stepping back outside, I lean against the worn fence post. Before me, my land lies in peaceful shadow, the day's warmth rising from it like a whispered breath. The first brave stars pierce the deepening blue, sharp and clear in the clean country air. The fatigue I feel is not a burden, but a weight of honest accomplishment, a deep physical memory of the day, etched into my muscles and bones. In this quiet, under the infinite sky, gratitude washes over me, as tangible as the evening chill. I'm grateful for the strength in my body to meet the land's demands. I'm grateful for the sun and the rain, partners in this work, over which I have no control, yet on which everything depends. I'm grateful for the silent partnership with the animals and the trusting patience of the soil. There are no grand speeches, only this silent understanding. A day spent not taking from the earth, but working with it, nurturing, mending, tending, leaves a soul quiet and full. With a final look at the star-dusted fields, I turn toward the welcoming light of my home, carrying with me the profound, simple peace that is a farmer's true harvest.